Hey friends, and happy Thursday morning. Hey, I wanted to jump on here really quick. Messy bun, terrible look on my face, but I want to come to you from my quiet time this morning, and I want to share something that I believe is so vital, is so important in the day and age that we are living in right now. Many of us are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Snapchat. Many of us are on TikTok. And I started thinking about this the other day, that we have a tendency, me included, to place so much emphasis on what other people say. So I had a situation happen to me the other day where someone on a social media platform left me kind of this ugly comment. It wasn't, I wouldn't say that it was all and out like an accusatory comment towards me personally. I think that this was just a generic statement that this individual was making on behalf of what he felt like was this general idea he had in his mind for all Christians. So again, I don't think that it was intended just for me. I think he's angry. I think he carries around a lot of hatred for Christians and for religion in and of itself. However, this comment kind of got to me, and I was talking to my husband about it, and I'm like, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to address it. I'm going to address it somehow on social media. I'm going to respond in a way that is loving and kind, but I'm going to respond in a way that I believe requires, it kind of requires me to do this. My stand in my faith, my relationship with Christ, it demands that I kind of come at this guy and give him an explanation for why I did a certain thing or why I said a certain thing. And my husband said, no, absolutely not. He said he doesn't deserve a response, and you have no business giving him one. No, just let it go. And I ran across Isaiah 33. Now, I'm going to do a video on this, and I'm going to be speaking to a group of ladies tonight specifically about some of these verses in a Zoom that I am leading. But I wanted to bring you this small little word today because I think it is so important that we wrap our brains around this and that we get this. I want to read Isaiah 33 verses 15 and 16 to you. First of all, I just want to read it. It says, well, let me go back to verse 14. It says, who can live with this devouring fire? Who can survive the all-consuming fire? Talking about the wrath of God, this all-consuming presence of the Lord. And in verse 15, it describes who these people are, who can dwell with the Lord in his all-consuming fire and it not hurt him. It says, those who are honest and fair, who refuse to profit by fraud, who stay far away from bribes, who refuse to listen to those who plot murder, who shut their eyes to all enticement to do wrong. These are the ones who will dwell on the high. The rocks of the mountains will be their fortress. Food will be supplied to them, and they will have water in abundance. I want us to focus in on this one line for a minute that says, who shut their eyes to all enticement to do wrong. What is this saying? You and I, as New Testament believers, you and I as Christians, you and I as God-fearing Jesus followers, we are dead to sin. We are dead to our old man. There's nothing in our old nature that we have reason to look at, to think about, to live with, to dwell on, to pursue. Nothing. That old sinful man who has this need to be heard, this need to retaliate, this need to get even, to settle the score, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, that old man is dead and gone. And if you and I are going to be dead to sin, then we have every reason to neither hear nor see evil around us, to close our eyes to it, to shut our eyes to all of the things that we see around us. Now, Does that mean that we cannot stand up for social injustices or for the hatred of the Gospels or the mocking of the Lord? No, absolutely. I think that I'm sorry, absolutely not. I think that we need to pay attention to those things. I think that we have every reason to stand up for the gospel and to carry on into our daily life this warrior mindset, to carry in the gospel message to every environment that we enter. But I think that we have to let go of our old man. And I think part of that is saying no to the things that even in the moment may sound good and right and holy even, and we can justify its righteousness in our life. We need to let go of that because we are dead to sin. We are dead to that old man, which means that we can't even look upon evil. We can't even look upon the enticement to do things that our old man and our old nature was subject to before we met Jesus. We have to let go of that. So we are dead to sin, which means that we won't even allow our eyes to see and our ears to hear. We won't even lean into those inclinations that we once had that entices us to do evil. We are dead to sin. And think about this. The antithesis of dead to sin is alive in Christ. We are dead to sin. We are dead to that old man. We are no longer looking upon evil. We are no longer thinking about the thing that would cause us to look anything like our old self did. But we are alive to Christ. That means that all of our ears and our eyes are alert to Him. What is He doing? What is He saying? What is He demanding of me? How can I live my life as a renewed, regenerated spirit that is living unto the Lord, that is looking to Him, that's clinging to Him, because we are dead to sin. And so I'm not even going to allow my eyes to see evil, my ears to hear evil. I'm going to be dead to it because I know the tendency that I have personally to go back to those old ways. I know that I have in my own life inclinations to go back and react like my old man would react. And we have every reason to be done with that old man, to move on, to carry on in our life, to move forward with what it is that God has for us. So I want to encourage you today with this, that when the good man, the regenerated man, the new man in Christ, he walks with his ears and his eyes shut to the moral contagion around him. He's done with all of the ugly. That means, broken down into simplistic terms, it means sitting in front of the TV at night watching news. And yes, you may be listening. Yes, you may be consuming for the mere fact that we need to be, kept aware of what's going on in our country, but not allowing it to influence us, not allowing it to infiltrate our minds, our thoughts, and our influence in our imaginations. And so, this good man, the good, regenerated, renewed man, the transformed man who has a new mind, according to Romans 12:1, the good man walks with his ear and his eye shut against the world, the contagion in the world around him, right? Evil doesn't grow in a soul that is opposed to and living contrary to the evil that we are forced to have to be in while we're living this side of eternity. So I want to just encourage you today, what you see, what you hear, what you pay attention to, it matters. It matters. It's influencing the way that you think. It's influencing the way that you live. And we have every reason to let go of that old man and to live in this regenerated spirit that we have now that we've given our life to Jesus. I hope that this has made sense to you today. I love you. Have a great day. Happy Thursday.